All right, so those are 3 types of cooperatives. The last 3 that I have to tell you about are not cooperatives, but they are nonprofits. So, some other types. Like I said, I've got 3 left. All right, professional organizations. These are a group of people in a specific profession that works to improve in their profession. They will go and have conferences. They will try and host basically best practices, and they will take a look at the best way to be good in that particular profession. Okay? So, examples of professional organizations. Lawyers. If you are a lawyer, okay, or you know somebody who's a lawyer, okay, in order to become a lawyer, they had to pass a test called the bar. The bar is put on by the lawyer's professional organization, okay? Their professional organization is called what? Anybody know who actually administers the bar exam? Close. For the entire country, it's the American Bar Association. The American Bar Association is for lawyers. The American Medical Association, the AMA, is for what kind of profession?
Doctors.
Doctors, okay? But they also have organizations for teachers. They have organizations for nurses, for a lot of professional fields. Now keep in mind when I say professional fields, this is like you have like skilled labor, okay? So what they will do is that they will put on, like the American Medical Association puts on several conferences throughout the year, and doctors will attend to learn about the best way to be a doctor, okay? So new upcoming research, new ways to do billing, to submit for Medicare, Medicaid, those kinds of things. They are going to help people, doctors, be better doctors, basically. Lawyers to be better lawyers. Teachers to be better teachers. That's a professional organization, and they are nonprofit. Over fall break, okay? Over fall break, all the teachers at Chittard had to attend one day of the Indiana Non-Public Educators Association. That would be a professional association, professional organization. Other examples of nonprofits. Business organization. A business organization is when businesses are brought together to promote their common interests of a profit. So this is going to be bringing for-profit companies together, okay, to try and promote something that they're all interested in. The best example of this is any type of chamber of commerce. Like, for example, the Indianapolis Chamber of Commerce. The Indianapolis Chamber of Commerce, what they will do is that they will go and promote the Indianapolis area. They will try and get more people to move to Indianapolis. They will try and get more companies to come to Indianapolis. They will try and get more people to visit Indianapolis. Because how does that benefit all the companies within the Indianapolis area?
More people to buy stuff.
More people to buy stuff and or more potential workers. Okay? So it benefits all. That's what a business organization will do. So a professional organization will make you better in your particular profession. A business organization will promote businesses as a whole. All right, last type that I'm going to tell you about is labor unions. Okay, labor unions are when a group of workers represent its members in employment matters. Labor unions have kind of gone on this roller coaster ride throughout history of what they actually do and their popularity. But basically, labor unions started as organizing a bunch of workers and trying to promote them and getting things that they need. Okay? The essence of a labor union is the idea that numbers matter. Okay? If I go into the boss's office and I say, "Hey, I want a raise. I think I deserve a raise because of these 3 things." Okay? The boss can look at me and say, "Hey, you know what? No, sorry, I don't agree. No raise for you. Done." Okay? Do I have any options as an individual person? No. The idea behind the labor union is collective bargaining, getting together and we can have one representative go in and say, hey, there are 50 of us in the same job, we all deserve a raise because of these 3 things, okay? Boss can still say no, however, obviously our alternative is what?
Strike.
Strike, okay? We could strike. Now, that does not necessarily mean that it's going to work, but you could, okay? Example of a labor union. My husband is actually in the labor union. It's called NATCA. It's the National Air Traffic Controllers Association. Okay? Now, this is a prime example of the good, the bad, and the ugly of labor unions. Okay? Way back in the 1980s, they actually had different labor unions for air traffic controllers. During the time of Reagan, they were negotiating with the government because the air traffic controllers worked for the federal government. They were negotiating a new contract, and nobody was moving. The air traffic controllers wanted more money. The federal government did not want to give them more money. Nobody was, giving up. So eventually, the air traffic controllers went and said, "Hey, you know what? Fine, we're going to strike. We're walking out right now." What do you suppose Reagan did then?
Called in the National Guard.
Nope.
That's what I would do.
He fired all of them. Says, "Fine, you're done. Don't bother coming back." He fired them all that strike. And he said that, okay, I'll just hire more people. Now, this is a very highly skilled area. So if you don't know what you're doing when you come in, it ain't gonna help. You cannot bring Joe Blow off the street and just come in and say, hey, sit down and do the job for me, okay? The interesting part is my husband's not old enough to be part of the controllers union at that point in time. But the interesting point was that when we first started, working, he actually met a guy that was around during that time period. And he did not strike. He did not strike because he had small children at the time, and he's like, I can't afford it. He's like, if I strike, I am done, and I have no income. He had a lot of small kids. He had several small kids, and so he's just like, I can't. So he actually worked many, many overtime hours. By the time they hired enough people back, he had enough vacation saved up. By the time he retired, he actually went on vacation for a year and got paid. He had that much vacation built up from when they were striking. But the ugly part is that while he was working, all the people that were striking that lost their jobs, how do you think they felt about him?
They were not happy.
Not happy at all. Matter of fact, he got his car egged. He's got his kids got death threats.
Wow.
And this was in Indiana, South Bend.
Imagine if it had been something like Alabama.
So, I wanted to tell you the story from the standpoint of labor unions can be good, labor unions can be bad. All right, those are the 6 kinds that I wanted to talk about. Does anybody have any questions about nonprofits right now? Okay. Will you please